Hey guys, welcome to another day on the shop. Today we got my dirty Expedition in here, so we're going to throw something into it and make it a lot sweeter. This is my 2008 Ford Expedition 2-wheel drive limited. So yeah, it's an 08. It's got some miles on it. I think 260, almost 270 now. All right, so the interior is pretty good, a little worn, but this truck is an 08, which makes it what, 15 years, 17 years old. Yeah, isn't it? It's pretty old. Yeah, 17 years old. So it needs a little freshening up and a little bit more technology, I would say. So with that being said, yes, it's an electronic. Gladly enough to work with a company, and they sent me a stereo. So let's take a look in the box and we'll see what we got. So this was sent from FBINSE, a stereo company that makes different stereos for different setups and everything else. So we're getting into here right now and seeing what all it comes with. So this is the bigger bag of RCA cables, a couple things, and a little control box, antenna stuff, and other things like that. So here's the backup camera with everything for it, and then there's a mic. So looks like the radio's right here, so we'll take it out. Let's see, open this box up. Looks like a little bracket, and then we have the actual stereo, which I'm happy about, which is a 10-inch screen. So this 10-inch screen is just like newer cars and everything else. It's going to bring some life to the Expedition. It's got a couple things in here. It's got a little fan. It's got quite a few different things for, I think, USB and reverse camera, the antenna, and a GPS. So we can keep up with everything on top of just being a radio, but this is a clean setup. So really impressed with how this is going to look. So we're going to get in here and we're going to see how easy it is, because this shouldn't take long at all. Everything should be plug and play adaptions, and it comes with a little screwdriver, and yeah, for the wiring, also comes with a trim clip or a trim tool. All right, so this is your integration harness. Super simple, super simple. This is your antenna, the box, everything else that goes along with it. Tells you a little bit about it. All right, this is your setup for, here's your fan, here's an amp out, and here's a mic. The rest of them are for subwoofers and everything else. Here's your GPS module. Here's a couple of USB, which works with either just charging or Apple Play. And then here's your reverse camera. So, and here's a little old school style USB. So that's it. That's the simple part. And here's the directions that go along with this one. My last one I did not go as easily because it didn't have these directions in it. So this is very simple, very simple to do. So that's what we're going to look at and get it installed. So hop with me and we're going to get our trim tool out and go ahead and knock this out. So let's hop in the car, and first step is you're going to unplug your battery. So pop the hood, under your battery. You don't want any accidental discharge of the battery into a fuse or anything else. So let's start with that. All right, now that the battery's unplugged, now all we got to do is pull this whole panel off, which is this little wooden panel right here, get to the back where this radio is, and that's the only thing we're going to be messing with. All right, so you're going to take your trim tool, pop it down here, coming around. There we go. It should just pop out very simply. There we go. Simple and easy. All right, once you pop this out, you can move it to the side. Then you have 4 7 little millimeter bolts holding this radio in. So we're going to pop this out and we're going to get to the back of it and start de-wiring it. So all these little plugs, I'm going to unplug them because it's taking me 2 hands to do, and they all plug into the new adapting harness. So let's take all this out. So take a look at the difference between these screens. So this is very small compared to this one. This thing is ginormous compared to that. It completely covers it up. So next thing we got to do, we got to grab this little adapter plate. This little adapter plate is what plugs up to the screen itself. So you see these 6 little prongs in the back? That's how you plug this screen into the adapter. So let's put the adapter in and start with that. So here's what the adapter looks like as it's out. So it just bolts in just like the other one unbolted, and it just bolts in exactly the same way like that. We run all our wires through here, and then we plug everything into there and then plug this into here or snap it in. So let's go ahead and we're gonna bring this in there, bring our wires, and we're gonna start sorting everything out. All right, since we have enough room in here, we're just going to go ahead and plug this adapter in just like this, right back in the same spots. We just screw it in and be done. All right, so we have the GPS right here. We're going to make it super simple. I'm just going to peel it off. We're just going to stick it to the metal holding this beam up right back here. Nothing's going to touch it, and it's back there now. This is going to have to stick out a little bit just to plug into the radio, and that's your GPS. The rest of these modules plug into all these. So pretty simple. Just plug and go with it. And you can't screw these up. They all plug in certain plugs, and that's it. They do not go to different or they don't go to the same plugs or anything else. They all go to separate plugs, and you don't have to worry about anything. So this is it, wired together now and through the window. That's everything we need. So now we're going to put this panel back, and then we'll snap that the interface in place, and we'll be done. So let's snap that back in place, and this should be pretty simple. All right, now that the dash is done, I've already plugged in a few things right here. This whole cord I'm not using at all. I'm just using this one fan switch. If I needed to use something, a good 12-volt source is the amp controller. It shoots a 12-volt source anytime the radio's on. And then another thing, you may or may not want the mic. Some of these radios, they have an internal mic, but they're not the greatest. So with the mic, you can actually hear and talk a little bit better. But we're just going to leave it, and if we ever need to come back, we'll just come back and pop this all off and run us a mic somewhere. All right, well, the next one's the backup camera. The backup camera's plugged in just in case I don't lose this cord. So with it, I have a backup camera that's already in place in my rear view mirror up here. So anytime I go in reverse, I have my little screen up here. I would like it on here, but I'm not going to redo all my wiring just to install it. But we will go over how to install your wiring to that. The wiring that comes with it, I'm going to say you can jump off your amp controller, and I'll show you that in just a second. So let's go look at it and how to install your backup camera. So looking at the radio right there, we have the backup camera plug. but let's open this bag and we'll see all the stuff that comes with it. So first of all, you have your backup camera itself. It comes with 2 plugs, power and video. Now, to power the video, not only the camera, you have 2 power cords right here. So the best way I learned to do it, I had to do this on my Ford Focus. The power to the actual camera right here comes from this plug, which plugs in here. And then you ground on the chassis and you plug this into your reverse lights. So the red goes to your reverse lights, the black goes to a ground. Well, with this wire over here, what I do is I jump this red wire that goes to the video output and jump it with the red that goes to the brake light, or the reverse light, excuse me. The reverse light powers both of these. Now, once we get in the car and we run the cable to the car itself, you have your audio in, or your video in right here that says camera on it. And then you take your amp controller and you plug it into this. And when you do that, anytime the radio's on, this has power. So when it switches into reverse, because the module for the radio itself tells the camera, or tells the radio, that you're in reverse. So it powers on and you have a reverse camera. So wherever you're going to put this, put it in a good place. Keep it out of harm's way. Like I said, I'm not putting it on here because I already have a camera, and I'm also not going to integrate that camera into this. It's just a lot more wiring and cutting into factory stuff that I don't want to mess with. So we're going to go ahead and install this now. While I plug this in, I'm not using the USB ports. I don't need to. I've charged my phone on 12-volt sources all over the car. If you wanted to, it's a good place to play your Apple CarPlay, but this has Bluetooth, so you don't have to worry about that. So Apple CarPlay comes straight from the Bluetooth. So, all right, with all these, all you have to do is plug in the certain plugs where they go. So like for this one, it's just the radio plug. Comes right into the back of the radio itself. Plugs in pretty good. This is your antenna, and it just goes in your antenna. And after your antenna, you have your GPS. You're gonna screw it on here. You can see that. Screw it on here. You can use a wrench if you want to. I don't. I just finger tighten it as tight as I can get it. Move the cords out of the way. And then we're gonna shove all this back in here. All the cords in, out of the way, for us to put these prongs in. Then we line them all up. Line them up, making sure the prongs are going in the place they need to. All right, and there's your screen. Just like newer cars, it kind of takes a little spot of all these little different options up here, but it gives you so much of a different size of screen that you don't have to worry about certain things. Now we're going to go hook the battery back up and we're going to see what this thing does. All right, now we're going to hook up everything. We're going to turn it on, see what happens. There we go. Now it's turning on. Let's turn this light off. It's kind of bright in here. All right, now it's on. Now you have an entire menu to mess with. It's got a lot of controls and a lot of other things. It is touchscreen, which makes it wonderful. So you can scroll through all this. So you have all these apps. You can control your fan as well, making sure it's on whenever you need it. So then you can back up, come out of here, and you can hook up your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, and we can go through that. We can also listen to the radio and see what channels we got.
In reality,
I gotta hook them all up. Don't have any on here, but it does sound okay. But yeah, so press home, Go through all the menus and everything. Got Bluetooth for answering phone calls, answering phone calls. You can send messages and everything else. You can read text messages. You can have your navigation and go wherever this goes. So it's looking for the signal right now, trying to find the destination. It looks like it's all in Spanish right now because we're in Bella Vista. Now that we have it going, it's not difficult at all to hook up your phone or anything else. You can go here. You can also do Wi-Fi and look through all the apps, watch YouTube or whatever else you want to watch on here. So all you got to do is get on your phone, pair the device, and then add your contacts, and you're good to go. You can answer messages, send messages, you can call and receive calls. So it is extremely simple. I like this. Makes it a lot newer looking. So it took me about 5 seconds to put my phone onto Android or Apple Play, and now it has all these apps and everything else. Shows my battery life is not too good because I've been on my phone most of the day. It's got my calendar, Amazon Music, Google Maps, messages, music, home. So it's got a lot of different stuff. You can actually watch yourself drive around and everything on here. I did also learn that with this system, my system back here, if you can see it, this actually still works. So it works really well. It turns on, it plays the DVDs, but the sound actually can still be gone through with the headphones. So you turn the headphones on that are linked to it, and it works perfectly. So whenever this is on, it shuts the sound off to the back and just has the sound on the front two passengers, or the driver and the passenger. Other than that, the back just has sound for this. It's only on the headphones, so it works out really well for all that. So that being said, if you have kids and they want to watch movies and everything else, they still can. And you can still have a modern amenity in your vehicle. Awesome. I like that. I want to say thank you to FBINSE. It's right there. FBINSE. So you can go to their.com. The links will be in the description below. Get you a new stereo or navigation, whatever you're using it for. It's pretty nice. So, and they are very affordable compared to the way they used to be. I want to say thank you for joining into another episode of The Shop. Hopefully you get you what you need. They have plenty of stereos for different applications. Like I said, I just put one in my Ford Focus. Same style. It's actually more of a Tesla style screen. So that's how I actually knew how to wire all this up very easily, because I just did one in my Ford Focus, and it works out very nicely. It's a 2014 Ford Focus, and now it's got the Tesla screen in it. Same company, same deal, works amazing. So check out all the links in the description below. Subscribe, comment below if you need to, and yeah, thanks for joining in. Until next time.